Okay. May I have your attention? It's my great privilege to introduce Rochella to you. It's a good thing I was given short notice because I would have written something that would have taken up all her time. But I did want to just note that in our culture we speak about Renaissance men. Rochella is truly a Renaissance woman. A pianist, a flautist, a sailor, an organizer, an administrator, a singer, what am I forgetting? An artist. My God, it goes on and on. But she's really a fantastically accomplished person. And I left out the national pickleball champion for her age group. My pickleball coach. That's why I sustained bloody injuries. But anyway, it really is a great privilege to introduce this extraordinary human being and member of our community. So.
Thank you, Matt. So I'm excited about today because I've got all kinds of fun things for you. So you remember Dr. Brandt talked about creativity, and he had those three wonderful words: bending, breaking, and blending. Well, I'm going to try and show you how that happens in music. So what we have here is an instrument. You all have instruments. Did you know that? Have you looked under your bed recently? You've got a voice. So everybody needs an instrument in order to be creative. And so here we go. These are the notes that I'm playing with. There are only 12. They're duplicated, but there are only 12. So I have 12 notes to play with, and I'm going to play 6 different composers. And I'll show you how they use those 12 notes to create this incredible music. So besides the notes, we have what we call a scale. So I'm going to play a scale for you. There are 8 notes in that scale. This is the same as that one. If you can hear it, those are called octaves. So you've got 8 notes. Then there's another kind of scale. It's a chromatic scale. There's the last note. Now we can have chords. So we can do this. That's a major chord. This is a minor chord. So then you've got harmony and you've got melody. So the harmony will be the chords and the melody will be the single notes. And what I want you to do is I want you to listen for the chords and the single notes and see what each of these composers do with that. So I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to start with a contemporary composer. And I can see you're already doing this. Well, this is a contemporary composer. His name is Philip Glass and he's still living. And so we're going to play Philip Glass as our first piece, and this is very contemporary. tempo. You didn't expect that, right? So, what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to play these various pieces, and if you will wait until I lift my hands off the piano like this, then you can clap. Because some of them have several variations and you won't know when it's the end of the piece. So you might have noticed while I was playing, I've got different dynamics, right? Soft and loud, those are our tools. And our rhythm is what you just heard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we've got different rhythms, 2 in a bar, 3, 4. And now I'm going to start off with a wonderful work by Bach. And this is Chaconne. And it is theme and variations. And I think you will get to hear the theme many times, so you should really become familiar with it. So here we go. show you how the music flows. And it's not just notes, it's what I put into it. So the next piece is the Mozart piece. And Mozart, you would imagine he's in a ballroom or a room with a gorgeous surroundings, people in lovely clothes, talking to each other, fanning themselves. And this is Mozart surrounded, as opposed to Bach, who wrote a lot of music for church and various instruments. But this one is theme and variations, and it's a sonata. So I'm going to start off just playing the notes. That's what's written on the page. It doesn't tell you what to do. So every person who plays this plays it differently. So I'm going to make my music, what I hear in this. it doesn't matter. It's what comes out of the heart and how you hear it and how you feel it. I hope you all heard all the people talking to each other in the music.
Yes.
There's a conversation going on there. So now we'll move to Beethoven, and again we're going to do theme and variations. And we're going to do this one here.
Very short career.
This is a sonata, and this first movement is theme and variations, and then it goes on to a second movement. So here we go with this lovely, now we're in a different century, and you've got all the dates there on your program. And this is Beethoven, and it's much more luscious, and you'll hear the different kinds of emotions that it suggests. So here we go. So remember Dr. Brandt talked about bending, which is some of the first movements, first variations in these things. It's just a little bit of an extra something, a note in between or somewhere, and that's bending. Then there's breaking, which is what I just did, is throwing notes over here and there. You're breaking this theme apart. The last one is blending, and then you have a totally new group of things. So that's what he talked about creativity. And I like this phrase, which is creativity is making the strange familiar. And learning is making the familiar strange. So, okay, so here we go with our next one. Now, it's the time because I want to pop something in here just in case. How are we doing on time? What time?
We don't care.
We're doing 4/4.
Okay, so this is Brahms. And Brahms,
You're skipping Beethoven and Schubert?
where's my Schubert? It's in the wrong place. Thank you. Okay, let's just come to next. Well, let's play with Schubert.
Who was Clara Schumann?
So this one, Schubert really loves his theme. And he plays it, he repeats it over and over again, so you become more familiar with it because it's strange to you in the first place, right? Here we go.
She was his sister.
Beethoven that I wanted to play. I'm going to go back because I know you'll recognize this. It's a wonderful piece, and this is part of a sonata. It's a slow movement from a sonata, and I think you might recognize it. I think it was the music for one of the series, television series. Brahms dedicated to Clara Schumann on a theme by Robert Schumann. you know, the Schumanns were supportive of Brahms in his young life, and supported him when he was not known, and then his career blossomed. Very interesting story about Brahms and the Schumanns, which we'll talk about later. So here's variations on a theme, and here's the theme. Moussorgsky. And Moussorgsky wrote this, it's actually not theme and variations, but it's sort of, I'll tell you why. He wrote this piece and called it Pictures at an Exhibition. And so imagine that you're walking into a museum and you'll see these different pictures. And in order to get from one picture to the other, you promenade from one picture to the next. So that's what is going to happen here. Now he's done a very interesting thing. You know, we have we have rhythms. It's a 2 in a bar, 3, 4. Well, here he's got 5 and 6 and 5 and 4, and so you never know where the actual beat is because he wants you to feel like you're walking through with no particular rhythm to it. So you'll hear and you won't feel like, you know, where's the beat? He doesn't have one because he doesn't want you to hear a beat. So this is first promenade, and he changes all the promenades. Obviously, you're going to go a different place to see a different piece of music, piece of art. So here we go. To the next picture. Now, you've heard about program music. Program music tells you a story. So the Bach, we didn't hear a story. We weren't thinking about specific things, sunsets or whatever else, but this is program music. So he's wanting you to think about what's happening. So the promenade, you can think of yourself walking through the museum, and then the next piece has a name, and that's the picture you're looking at. Tell me afterwards when I'm finished what it was doing. This is the old castle. To the trolley thing. The children are playing a game and now they're arguing between each other. And so I'm going to attempt to play this, it's lots of notes, and I may just scatter over.
It's all right, we won't know.
My children playing. Well, here goes the promenade.
How's their total?
Chickens. So we're coming to the last one, promenade, and I'm going to not actually play the whole of the last one, but it is the gates of the heroic warriors of Kiev. How appropriate. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play the most important one. We have a promenade, of course. Very excited. There's bells tolling all over the place, and it's banging up here, and something like this.
Ask a question.
Of course.
What's your favorite